Hello, welcome to this special video that I'm recording today in response to an email and a post that I sent out yesterday. Now, it was a very simple message that I sent out to the Fertile Mindset community, to people who maybe like you, who are on a fertility journey. And it simply was an email that I sent out and a post that asked, how are you doing right now? And I said this wasn't just a throwaway comment, you know, as we say to people when we see them and we say, oh, how are you? And we expect just to hear, oh, I'm okay, how are you? This was a genuine, how are you really doing right now? I'm listening, I want to know, and I also know that it's really important to have a space to share that and not to keep those feelings pushed down. So I sent out the request yesterday. I received private messages here on Facebook. I received lots of emails, and I was really moved by how much you were sharing with me. So first of all, thank you to those of you who emailed, and I'm really proud of you for taking that step as well, of being really honest and sharing. And even if you didn't actually put the words on the email, you didn't literally put pen to paper, you are likely to have acknowledged that question anyway. How are you doing today? And even just answering that for yourself and being honest with yourself in that moment, even if it was just a moment of allowing that answer to come through and allowing those emotions, that's a really good step as well. So I want to congratulate you as well for doing that, even if you're just hearing this question for the first time now and you're reflecting, how am I really doing? Not how I want to put a brave face on, or I want the world to think I'm doing, or I feel like I should be doing, but how am I really doing? What is my emotional state like right now? What are my thoughts, my feelings, my beliefs surrounding my fertility and myself? And it is worth, you know, taking that moment to share. So yesterday, when I received your emails, I did my best, and I believe I have replied to every single one. So if I missed yours, then feel free to remind me, because I want to reply and acknowledge each of you. But this is the big acknowledgement now, because there was so much emotion coming forward in those messages that I received. If you still want to email me, you're very welcome to. It's mail@fertilemindset.com. That will come straight to me. But the big emotions that were being shared there was a lot of pain, a lot of frustration, a lot of anxiety, sadness. Some of it was linked into the current world situation that we're in right now, with delays about treatment, or not knowing what's going to happen next, or recent loss or miscarriage or cycles that didn't complete. Really heavy emotions, and there was a big outpouring. I could feel it, and some people even apologized for sharing. You know, they said, I'm sorry to be sharing so much with you, but this is honest, this is what I'm feeling right now. So the first thing I wanted to say to each of you, whether you emailed me or whether you're just answering that question now, is that all of these feelings you have are valid. If the feeling is there, whether it's a feeling, thought, emotion, a belief, whatever is coming up for you in relation to yourself and your fertility, if those feelings are there, they're there for a reason, and they are valid. And they're there because they're trying to get you to look at something in a certain way. They're highlighting fears or anxieties that you have that need attention. But those feelings, every single one of them, are valid. None of them have been made up just for the sake of it. They all have a message behind them. So don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't be feeling that way. Don't anyone tell you that you should just relax. You know, that old saying of just relax, you'll get pregnant. People want to minimize our feelings, our thoughts, our emotions around this, but usually because it's uncomfortable for them. You know, they don't know what to do with that outpouring of emotion that you have and that sharing. And yeah, people may try and tell us to, well, just relax, just switch off, just do something else, take your mind off of it. And also don't say that to yourself, because that came up a few times actually in the emails as well, is that I shouldn't be feeling this way. You know, I have everything else in my life going well. Maybe you have a nice home or a good career or a good relationship. I shouldn't be wanting this as well, should I? Or so those of you who are dealing with secondary infertility and already have a baby, already have a previous child, you know, I should be feeling grateful for what I have already. I shouldn't be feeling so sad and so distressed that I'm unable to conceive again. So please don't take notice of that advice of that you shouldn't be feeling this way, because your emotions are there for a reason and they are valid. So the first step, and what I'd love each of you to do, and I'm seeing some likes and loves coming through, so I'm hoping this is resonating. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to share as well. But the very first thing I would love to give you all permission to do is to acknowledge those emotions. Okay, so acknowledge that they are there, and that whatever you are thinking and feeling around your fertility is valid and it is allowed. And with that acknowledgement can come acceptance, right? I'm accepting that I do feel this way now. So I've acknowledged that it exists. I'm not pushing it down anymore. And now I've acknowledged that I am feeling this way, I can begin to accept it. I might not want to accept it. It might be difficult. It might feel painful to accept that, but I can accept that I'm feeling this in this moment. And just because I'm feeling this way, however painful it feels, doesn't mean it's always going to be there either. But I accept that this moment, this present moment I'm in, this is how I'm feeling. I'm accepting it, acknowledging it, honouring it, owning these feelings in this moment now. Because that acceptance of this moment that you're in now is the first step towards then working through those emotions and hopefully releasing them, transforming them into something else, naturally, gently letting them go to make space for other feelings, emotions, thoughts and beliefs that will support you more, that will feel more comfortable, that will feel that they are supporting you on your path to parenthood and giving you what you need rather than taking away from you. So whilst it's completely understandable and completely understandable to feel all of those heavy, painful emotions when you're dealing with fertility issues, it doesn't mean that we need to stick with them. It doesn't mean it's the only way to feel. So acknowledging, accepting, taking that first step to then working through them and transforming them. Now, how can we do that? First of all, the acceptance part, the acceptance and the acknowledging. If we're so used to pushing them down, if you know that email, perhaps if you did receive that email from me yesterday, or just hearing me ask the question now, maybe it's the first time in a long time that you've actually allowed yourself to really acknowledge how you're feeling on your fertility journey. Maybe you're so used to kind of putting that face on, that smile, and not letting people know how you're doing. Perhaps it feels unusual to be letting it, out and be honest. So that's your first step, is just acknowledging how you're feeling. You may want to do that by writing. You might want to journal or just write down all those thoughts and feelings that are in your head. It's a really good step to start untangling them. It's like when you have so many thoughts and feelings in your head about a particular topic, and I know that fertility is particularly complex with many layers and many different reasons why we have all those different feelings. It can feel very difficult to make any sense of that. It can be, literally feel like a tangled mess. Whereas if you get a sheet of paper and you just start listing down, like, this is what I'm feeling and this is what it's about, it's a step towards untangling, that confusion of thoughts and getting clear on what you are really experiencing, and maybe getting clear on the reasons why. And it takes away some of its power, because the confusion and the overwhelm will be reduced. So journaling, writing it down just by yourself, is something that's very useful to do. And I know a lot of people use that regularly to support their fertility. They may have a daily journal practice. You might want to do that once a day in the morning, or you might want to do it in the evening so that you can, clear your day and be ready to unwind and have a good night's sleep and empty your mind. Talking, of course, and sharing in that way is another way to really acknowledge and accept and start working through the emotions that you have. So you may have a trusted friend, or you may have a support group that you belong to, or someone else, a kind of mentor who is on a fertility journey too, who has been there, that it's somebody who really understands. I know that was really important to me when I was trying to conceive, was finding people who'd walked that path before me and could really empathise with how I was feeling, and they are the people that I would go to most and share. Because I knew they wouldn't minimise my feelings. I knew they wouldn't suggest that I shouldn't be feeling that way. They'd allow it, just give me the space to talk. So finding that person or that group or even a professional, that's why I think many of you responded to the email that I sent out, was because it was that opportunity to share. So taking that opportunity and talking and sharing. And then deciding, once you've gone through that stage of acceptance and acknowledgement, deciding, actually, I deserve more than this. And yes, I accept this is my current moment and this is the emotional pain that I'm dealing with right now, but I do deserve more than this. And I have more than this within me. Each of you do have more than the pain and the discomfort that you're experiencing. I promise you, you have so much more to you. And if you look back to before your fertility journey, before this kind of took over perhaps a lot of your life, you'll remember, a lot more of your strengths and your characteristics and your personality and your fun and how you used to spend your time, even when you weren't just constantly researching fertility and working towards the next cycle. It's understandable that it takes over our lives, but it doesn't mean that is all that you have now. You are so much more than this. So acknowledging that you deserve more and you have more, and thinking what that would be, the strength, the resilience, the resourcefulness, the creativity, the life that you have to live, all of that is not only supporting you, but it will then support your fertility as well. So once you decide that that is what you want more for yourself, you deserve more for yourself, and you deserve better. You're not going to stay in this emotional, painful moment. And they will come and go, we know that, but we don't have to stay stuck. Then you commit, you make that kind of promise to yourself. You promise to yourself that you are going to keep supporting yourself. And you're also going to not only support yourself, but you're going to put yourself at the centre of your fertility journey. And I'd love each of you to do that, because in the emails that I received, it didn't look like many of you were doing that, to be honest, and it's understandable. We put the baby there at the middle, don't we? We put that dream, that pregnancy, that baby, that child that we're working towards at the middle, and everything else around it is working towards making that goal happen. And sometimes that's to our detriment, and often it's to our detriment when we feel like we're losing a part of ourselves, and we've lost connection with the things in life that we really enjoy, and it's all become about that baby that we put in the centre. And what a lot of pressure to put on a child that isn't even here yet. It might not even feel good to be doing that. Whereas if you put yourself in the centre, you are the woman, you are the one looking to become a mother, to conceive your baby. You are the one that needs all the care, the attention, the lifting up at this time, and the supporting. Absolutely, you're the one. And if you're with your partner too, bring your partner into the circle. You're there together. You are the ones at the focus. And that's what I'd love you to make that promise. Actually, I'm going to put myself at the centre here. I'm going to start taking care of me, so that I can then bring in my baby, and I will be strong, and I will be resourceful, and I will be ready. So how does that sound? Does that sound unusual, difficult? Does it sound good? I'd love to know. Let me know if you're watching. Feel free to write in the comments, or even if you just want to discreetly click a like or a love, let me know if that resonates with you and if it is something you'd like to do. Now, even if you'd like to do that, I know that it might seem difficult and you might not know how to do that. So what I would like to do is invite you to take that step towards putting yourself at the centre of your fertility journey, putting your self-care as a top priority, so that you will support you, it will support your fertility, and it will help the whole journey be more comfortable, easier, more open to more potential and possibilities, and ultimately successful. What I'd love to invite you to do is to join me at my webinar that's happening on Thursday. It's called 4 Steps to Fertile Mindset Mastery. If you've been following me, you'll know that I'm Sarah Holland at Fertile Mindset. I'm a fertility EFT coach, and I do believe in supporting you to create and nurture your own fertile mindset. And what I mean by that is ensuring that your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your beliefs, your actions are aligned with supporting your mindset, supporting your fertility, or whatever else you want to bring into your life. People that follow my 4 steps and go through my programs or have one-to-one support with me, see massive transformation, massive change in the way they're thinking about themselves, the way they're thinking about their fertility, the way they notice themselves spending their time. You know, they notice that they feel much calmer, more in control of their thoughts and their feelings. They're able to really start enjoying life again, and I'd really love that for you too. So this is a free webinar, no cost involved whatsoever. It's just a free webinar that I'm running on Thursday called 4 Steps to Fertile Mindset Mastery. Nearly said a different word then. 4 Steps to Fertile Mindset Mastery. You can sign up by going to fertilemindset.com/webinar. I will put the link here in the description too. I would really love to see you there. Let me know if you'll be joining. We've already got a few hundred people that have signed up. More are coming in every single day. I think I've got to expand my capacity for the webinar because it looks like it's going to be a really popular one. So I'd love to see you there. I'd love that to be a really positive step that you take for your fertility, but for yourself as well. Love to see you there. Take care. Have a good day, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Bye-bye.